Welcome back to the campervan build. Today I'm going to be putting the windows in. So I'm going to be doing the front half, left and right, and the right side will be an opening window, and then the back side will just be two fixed windows, and I'm going to leave the back half left and right because that's where the cooker's going to go, and I don't think we really need too much light coming through there. I've ordered them, I've got them, I'm just going to go through the steps of how to install them. Here I've got one of the back panels. So if we have a look, this straight side is the side that goes along the door. The inner square is the visible part of the window, and the outer rim is where you put the glue on to sort of stick it to the door. Here we have the sliding door. So this is going to go on this side of the van, just here. So this is the front half and this is the back half. So if we have a look at what we need to do, got all my tools in there, lovely. This is the back panel of the van. As you can see, this here frame already matches the visible part of the window. Right, so to get started with the back door, so here's where we're going to start with the back window. This is the indent in the back door. It gives you a sort of frame as to where the window is going to go. What I've done is draw a blue line around where I'm going to cut. Mine sadly didn't come with a template, so I've gone and drawn this myself. So this is about 1 centimetre away from the edge all the way around, and this is so that we can fit this rubber seal, rubber guide over the metal once it's been cut. So obviously we need enough space to squeeze that on there and to go all of the way around. This metal bar in the middle, you can cut that out. I've drawn the blue line, but I'll probably cut that up to the top there so that it's less in the way and they don't have any sharp edges on it. So I'm just going to use a standard angle grinder and a metal cutting disc. We're just going to be using a jigsaw, and I'll just be going around the whole blue line. So, here we go. So it's quite tricky to get around the corners from the inside, and I can't see the frame from the outside. So what I'm going to do is drill a few pilot holes around the corner, and then that'll allow me to cut from the outside and know where I'm going. So my wooden jigsaws aren't good enough to cut metal, not surprising. I'm going to tape this up, head down to the shop, and yeah, go get some metal jigsaws instead. Right, continuing. There we go. 2 broken wood jigsaw bits, 1 trip to screw fix, 1 slightly burnt panel. Don't use an angle grinder, don't use wood jigsaw bits. Don't be like me. So now let's clean up those edges a bit. The entire time I was doing that, bits of really hot metal were hitting my arms, so you really need to wear gloves and eye protection. Let's see how well it matches up with the window. Hopefully I didn't mess up the templating, but let's have a look. You just want to take this rubber seal that they've given you. This pushes onto the metal and just gives a nice finish. Obviously this is super rough from just being cut really quickly with a jigsaw. For my kit, they've just given me 1 long length, so I have to put 1 on, cut it in half, and then I'll put it onto the second one as well. Use some scissor snips to cut it when it's at the other end. Cool, so there we go. That's on there now. Should make the rough edges nice and smooth. As you can see on the inside, it's just about right all the way around the top, around the edge. Probably a bit messy in some places, but it doesn't really matter once it's got the window in there. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. So one thing you might need to do is some rough edges like this. You're gonna have to smooth those down. See what I can do. I have to think of something to sort of clean up these edges in a bit. You might have taken some of the paint off here. You're going to want to go over any place where you've removed any paint with some of hammerite or some sort of metal paint. Just that'll stop it from rusting in the future. I'm just going to use a bit of T-Cut Pro to, T-Cut Colour Fast, whatever it is, to get rid of these, because basically the jigsaw has actually scratched onto its colour onto here. So if you use this stuff, it's an abrasive and it should just wipe this stuff off like that. Cool, so to attach the windows, now that we've drilled the hole, we'll cut the panels out and put the rubber rim around. First you'll have to apply your primer. So with my company, which was Van Diemen's, they sent me this stuff called Prep M and a lint-free cloth, and you need to go around the ceramic part of your window, which is the black outline of it, and apply some of the primer. Then you need to do the same to the panel where you're going to stick the window on, where you're going to put the sealant, and let that dry for 5 minutes. It mentions don't get it on the actual visible part of the window, so I'm not sure if that would cause an issue, but best to just avoid that. Okay, so that's it done on the window, and let's do it on the metal where we're going to put it. Cool. So we'll just leave that for 5 minutes to dry. My windows came wrapped in packaging, so I didn't really bother, but if they've been out, you need to wash them to make sure there's no grease, dust or anything on like that, because basically this sealant is just a strong glue, and if you don't have a great contact, so if there's any dust or any debris on it, that could, you know, make the bond a bit weaker, and if you're driving along, you don't want the window to come off at 70 miles an hour, because that would be terrible. So when we apply the sealant, this rubber seal around the edge, it's got a bit of depth to it. So my instructions say it needs to be about 9mm thick, so almost a centimetre, and the sealant they give me on the nozzle, there's that triangle. So basically I'm going to be using that triangle as the 9mm depth to go around, because you need quite a thick layer of it to make sure it actually connects to the window and goes over the top of that rubber sealant. So one thing as well with the first one, I cut the end of the tube off too close to the tube, and I didn't leave any thread, which meant as soon as I put some pressure on, the nozzle came off. So make sure you've got a good amount of thread to still screw the nozzle on, otherwise you're going to have a bit of a nightmare. Stop it slipping over time, I'm just going to put some tape onto it. Cool, so I'm gonna leave this dry for 24 hours, get the other ones done too, and then there we go, that's basically the back windows done. I think I've done a bit too big a gap in the middle, but no worries. Cool, there we go. Four windows done. Just leave them to dry. I imagine 24 hours is best, but I have no idea what this thick black tar of sealant is made from. Could probably hold the entire van together. Cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It's not quite a tutorial, it's not quite a, I don't know what it is, but I'll put some windows on a van. There you go.